Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to KocoSports. It's where the world's coming to guys, your home for combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. I am the huge one, aka the idiot, Dave Koco from DAVKOCO.com, and we are just finished a watch party. We do a lot of watch parties on Twitch KocoSports. You can find us on KocoSports and all those wonderful platforms. All the platforms love us, and the algorithm's like, "Ooh, show me more of the mustache." As always, we ask you win, loss, or tie. What did you think of the show? Slowly but surely getting back into pro wrestling. There's been a big gap between when I watched Impact. I used to be a huge TNA fan back in the day. Then the Dixie Carter era came. I feel like it peaked at the Samoa Joe Kurt Angle headbutt, and I was out when EC3 lost to the Hardys. Bunch of impact YouTubers like, well, let's see how we can spin that into a good thing. But I officially retired. I'm doing watch parties of AEW New Japan and now Impact on Twitch TV KocoSports. But let's break this down. I didn't watch the pre-show, but here's the pre-show results. Heath and Rhino defeat Rajang and Shera. Rich Swann defeats Laredo Kid and Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey was scheduled to have a match versus one of the Motor City Machine Guns, but he was out either due to sickness or injury. I don't know the whole details. And this is when I came in. I watched it on Fight. This is not an ad, but Fight.tv while living overseas is amazing. And now I started coughing. I haven't coughed all day. Get back to YouTube. Am I allergic to YouTube? All right, we're just going to read the results. We're reading the results off E-Wrestling News. We have no affiliate whatsoever. I just Google search, and the best one who has the results laid out is the one I read. All right, so Impact Wrestling Under Siege 2022 results. You got Madison Rayne versus Shaw. I thought this was going to be a tag team match. This was originally scheduled to be on the pre-show, and I think it might have been worst match of the night. I don't know. It was a great card, but I was not feeling this match. Shaw, I guess, pulls an upset. I don't know. I know more about Madison Rayne than the other. The steel line from George St. Pierre. I was not impressed by your performance. That was the perfect GSP. You know what? So it was a pretty weak match, weak opener. The crowd really didn't get into it, but then it picked up from there. You had Steve Maclin, who just getting into, super excited to see what he's about. New Jersey guy, it just looks like a badass. So I'm looking to see him more in matches. He went against Chris Sabin. I enjoyed this match. It was fast paced. If this was the opener or they swapped one of the pre-show matches, it probably would have been really well received. Chris Sabin wins. I really enjoyed it. Fast-paced, X Division. Great to see. This, to me, was the women's match that I was looking forward to the most, and I'd probably say the women's match up. You had the AAA title. You have Valkyrie versus, I'm going to totally slaughter her name. Purrazzo. I don't know much about her. I've seen her a couple matches, but I've heard nothing but people that I trust on the internet, because the internet's like, I like my company, I'm not another company. So people that I actually trust say she's absolutely amazing. I enjoyed this match. This is the match that I was most hyped up for. Valkyrie wins, and overall, I thought it was the best women's match of the night, and it was just awesome. It was a little fast-paced, so it was good. After retaining the title, the lights went out, and Mia Yim returned. I thought it was a little weird that Mia Yim went after the guy that, the woman that lost the match, but at the end, Valkyrie and her were friends, and it was great to see Mia Yim return. And yeah, so it was the first big return of the night, and I hope Mia Yim is awesome. Mia Yim, she's on Twitch. She's, social media type girl, but she used to be in the Indies. In the Indies, she dominated, and then she went to NXT, turned into the female version of Kenta, and WWE can steal your soul from you. Just steal your soul from you. And I hope she's not the female Kenta. Not that. Yeah, Kenta's fucking horrible now. I tried to be kind. I'm like, hey, dude, listen, you're tired. You got a mustache. Be kinder. Kenta, where did you lose your soul? Mia, don't be like Kenta. Keep your soul. I know Vince McMahon just did. I think when you signed his contract in NXT, he's like, give me your soul. Anyway, moving on. The X Division Championship. I was a little worried that Miguel was going to win it. Trey Miguel was in the match versus Ace Austin. Ace Austin from New Jersey, Atlantic City, going to be in the best of the Super Juniors. So super happy. And I'm hoping they bring the X Division Championship. I thought this was a great match, great X Division match. There was times where it slowed down, but overall, I enjoyed the match a lot. And as far as a new Impact fan coming back, I think Ace Austin has caught my eye the most. And I'm hoping when he goes to Super Juniors, he brings the title with him. And then every time he loses in the Super Juniors, that guy flies back to Impact to defend his title. If you are going to have this forbidden door with Impact, AEW, Stardom, New Japan, if you're going to have this forbidden door, that's a great way to do it. Have your champion go over there. I don't think Ace Austin's winning the best of Super Juniors, but he should have a winning record. Hopefully he has a couple good matches right off the bat so the fan base can get behind him. But bring the title. It would bring prestige to the title. It brings prestige to the tournament. And then everyone that beats Ace Austin, you can have them fly over to the Impact Zone, wherever it is this week, and have Ace Austin defend the title there. So to me, I'm excited and pumped up, and I'd like to see what Ace Austin can do in a New Japan ring. I just feel like New Japan treats it more like a sport. The fans root for you depending on in-ring ability more than gimmick. So it's going to be great. I can't wait. Next, you have the Bullet Club versus Honor No More. It's a lot of former ROH guys, Kenny King, and also Bullet Club. You got Jay White, Chris Bay, El Phantasmo, and the Good Brothers. To me, I'm just so happy they didn't grab the mic. As a new fan, Impact wrestling shows, when it came to the Bullet Club and it came to Honor No More, it felt like instead of having a promo where it was going somewhere, it was like, just stall for time. Just stall for time. Jericho did that at AEW. WWE does it every segment. Like, if you're handing a wrestler a mic and saying stall for time and it's going nowhere, I was just so happy they didn't grab the mic. But overall, the winners were Honor No More. For some reason, I thought Bullet Club was going to go over. I really did. Now that the results are in front of me, it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of obvious. Honor No More's more an Impact, but I was still a little shocked by it. Overall, thought it was a decent match, and I don't know if they're going to continue to feud, exit the feud. I'm not really sure where this goes. Just less promos between these guys. That or sharpen up your promo skills that it goes somewhere. I mean, I know Jay White for the longest time got, I'm white and I'm a heel. That's never been done in Japan before. But for the love of God, just have your promos go somewhere. Overall, exciting, fun match, high speed. And I'm excited for Kenny King, Chris Bay. Alpha Tasmo's gone through the roof. Jay White has become Marty McFly. He's got to save it. You got the Good Brothers. It was nice to see Mike Bennett. So overall, it was great. And not a lot, but felt kind of special. And I think this is more special for older fans than it is younger fans. Because we had to go through that dark ages where WWE had a monopoly. And we're like, oh, imagine New Japan and Bullet Club versus ROH and Impact. Now it happens way more. It's going to happen way more down the line. But it's kind of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think the older fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the older fans of pro wrestling, enjoy what's going on now more than younger fans, because we had to go through a dark age where we just didn't get matches like that. Next, you have the movies in MCU speaking. Knockout Championship, you got Tasha Steelz versus Havoc. I was surprised how well Havoc can move for her size. I enjoyed this match. I was not pumped up for this match. I was way more pumped up for the AAA match, but this match was pretty decent. Steelz does win. The size difference was big, and Havoc, I'm not really into, I don't know how to say it. I always say dead storylines or supernatural storylines, or I don't know, storylines that outside of Lucha Underground seem fucking ridiculous. But I was really impressed with Havoc's match and Steelz, so I guess this would be the surprise match of the night. And next, World Tag Team Championship, you got Violent by Design, Eric Young, and Joe Doring versus the Briscoe brothers. I don't know if Joe Doring was the one in the match. It doesn't matter. I always call him Eric Young and the Friends. I thought this was the match of the night. I really thought this was the match of the night. Briscoe's become the champs. The Briscoes have a brawling, fast style that never slows down. It's great to see the Briscoes. If the Briscoes weren't so controversial or during this time period of life, they would be up there with the Dudleys. But to me, it was an amazing match. I thought it was match of the night, and I was completely blown away by it. And ever since returning back to Impact Wrestling, I've been doing watch parties for about a month now, give or take 2 months. Yeah, I just thought this was the best Impact match I've seen in a while, and I'm super happy to see the Briscoes win, and it's great to see Eric Young, and not all that, but yeah, it was just a match. Next, I was a little afraid. I'm going to be honest. They teased something horrible. I was very scared that Moose was going to be added into a three-way. So when Moose hits the ring and he cuts a promo saying he's the best and all that, I'm like, oh, God, they're going to fucking add him to the main event. I don't want that. I don't want a three-way. I love you, Moose, but I don't want a three-way. I thought that's where it was going, but it didn't. Sami Callihan does return. He's great. Just a great character, great wrestler, hardcore guy. And him versus Moose was amazing. The setup was amazing. The return was awesome. Maybe it's because I'm new to Impact, and I haven't been watching it for a long time. I was a little surprised by this. I thought they were going to ruin it. I really thought, and nothing against Moose, the wrestler, I just thought they were going to make it a three-way. But they didn't. Callahan's back, super excited, and see where that goes. World Championship match, you have Josh Alexander. Thanks to a Twitch chatter called Girl with Top Hat, I learned about him. I got to see him on the Indies, and going against Ishii, the 4-star jobber. I know he wins, but he doesn't win that often, and it always seems like he puts himself in a position to have like a 4-star match and then just loses. I thought going in, Ishii in like the pro wrestling world was definitely a huge underdog. Like, I don't think anyone thought Ishii was going to win. It was still a great match. There was some chopping. There was some hitting. I don't think it's match of the night. Obviously, I still think the World Tag Team match did better. But Josh Alexander does win. And Ishii, granted, he does win, but I don't know. The 4-star jobber starting to become a thing for Choppa Man. So, Ishii, I was rooting for Ishii. I didn't think, my heart said Ishii, but my brain and every human being on planet Earth knew Alexander was going to win. But overall, I give this Impact, I paid $10 to watch it on Fight. I give it a huge win. Like, there was a couple misses. That opening match, I think, was a miss. The Chris Sabin match was decent. The AAA, I was really pumped up for. Mia Yim, I was happy. The Ace Austin match, I was happy. The Bullet Club, it wasn't the best, but at the same time, I think if it wasn't for Bullet Club, and if you didn't have New Japan, Bullet Club, and Ring of Honor vibes to it, that would probably have been a horrible match, but it was pretty good. Havoc surprised me. Steel surprised me. The Tag Championship was amazing, and the main event was pretty good. It just sucks because when you have the 4-star jobber, you know who's going over. But still, it was overall great. I give it a huge win. This is probably the best Impact show I've seen in a really long time. With that said, I took a huge long break. So from EC3 losing to Hardy all the way up to like the last 2 months, I stopped watching. But this is the first time where I'm like, yeah, because a lot of times, if I can be 100 with you, a lot of times people just on YouTube don't cover Impact or TNA, whatever you want to call it, or they just fucking lie to you. Because anytime someone says something bad in the chat, they're like, you're a WWE fanboy. And it doesn't get the numbers that WWE does, so it shies people away. Like, we were talking about this in chat. People were talking about all these big sites covering it. And I was like, well, listen, if you're a hardcore Impact guy, most likely you're a tribalist. The tribalism has gone so crazy these days in pro wrestling. Rant and Review talks about that a lot on his YouTube channel. And, but the thing is, like, if someone says, hey, the first match was a stinker, the rest of the matches were pretty goddamn good, don't focus on that first match and be like, you're a WWE fanboy, because nowadays I'm just making a comeback. I retired, just do this for fun. But, one time I was doing this for a small living, and they're just going to look, the bigger channels are just going to look at it and be like, all right, well, that's a waste of effing time. I know you think you're helping with your tribalism, but you're actually hurting. So just something to think about. But yeah, overall, I thought it was the best Impact pay-per-view show I've watched in a really long time. Now, granted, there was a huge gap in between me watching Impact, but because like all the Impact guys and TNA fans are always like, "Oh, it's good, trust me, that's good," and then you go back and like it wasn't. It's good, it's good. I tell you, trust me. No, dude, it fucking really wasn't. This was actually really, really good. If this is what the type of pay-per-views and shows they're putting on, I'm gonna enjoy it a lot. So overall, I give it a huge win. I ask you, as always, win, loss, or tie. Like I said, we will be doing Impact, AEW, and New Japan all this month and probably forever on twitch.tv KocoSports watch parties. I'm probably going to try to make as many videos as I can on this channel, slowly but surely get back into it. And yeah, I'm retired, I have a mustache, and I like Impact. So much has changed. I'm hoping to add MLW and NWA and maybe Noah in the future too. All right. Like, comment, subscribe. Check us out. KocoSports on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And with that, I am over.